Okay, Dr. Andy Basi, Senior Vice President, Academic at Ascender School of Management in Vancouver, Canada. I was invited here to be part of the conference. It's my second time. I did come last year. And I'm going to be one of the afternoon speakers. I'm going to be talking about change, leadership, and discrimination, the complex relationship between these three subjects. Each one could have been a lecture on its own, but I'm going to try and weave them together and tell the audience basically how change is something that we have to learn to accept. We have to be able to adapt to it, and it's a constant in all our lives. It affects all our organizations and our personal lives. I will then say that as a leader, one of the skills that you do need is to be able to help an organization through change, and not only be ready for change, but be adaptable and be prepared to be the example for others. And these are skills that are necessary in leadership. I'll then talk about the changes that have been happening in technology, going over from the early days of when man first took flight. I'll then be talking about the changes within our own life, because man landed on the moon 55 years ago. What changes have we seen in our own personal lives, and relate that to the changes we see in organizations, particularly in healthcare, and how those changes, the demographic changes, the changes in technology, the changes in the way in which we do our procedures from invasive to non-invasive, the way in which it's organized, how that is creating a complex system. I'll then give them, when I say them, the audience, I'll give them a question. What's the difference between baking a cake, sending a rocket to the moon, and then raising a child? I won't give you the answer because I want you to invite me to speak to you as well. But basically, complex systems need leadership, and healthcare is a complex system. And you need to have what I call a systems way of looking at these things. The system way is that you've got to look broader and at everything. So healthcare is not just about hospitals. It's about prevention. It's about population-based health. It's about rehabilitation. It's about the role of the GPs, the specialists, the allied health, the nurses. It's so complicated, and that's why there's been no solutions yet, because people tend to focus on just one element of healthcare instead of looking at the entirety. And finally, I will then talk about equality and the importance of recognizing the role of discrimination and racism, which is prevalent all around the world. But my mantra is that nothing changes unless something changes. And as things change, they stay the same. And I'll be hearkening back to the days when I was in England, when Enoch Powell was here, and we were going through some difficult times with immigration and the role of the government and the population rising up against immigrants. And where are we today? Exactly the same place. People are being blamed for coming from overseas, taking local jobs. So nothing changes really. And these systems need that holistic view. Finally, what I'll talk about is how we need collaborative leadership. We need both the medical profession and the administrators to see the same things, because the example I give you is of a cube. In the center of the cube is a cone. And what happens is that one group of people, let's say the physicians, look down from the top of the cube, and when they're asked to say what do they see, they'll say, I see a circle. On the side of the cube, if you look that way, when you look at the cone, you ask the administrators, what do you see? And they say, I see a triangle. So now you have the physician saying, well, there's a circle here, and you've got the administrator saying, no, it's a triangle. Both are experts and both are dogmatic that they're not going to change their view, and they don't see the same thing, and yet they're looking at the same problem. So that's how I'll wrap it up. Really, we need collaborative leadership, we need systems thinking, and hopefully I can cause a debate, hopefully learn from our past mistakes, and that's what I'm here to do.